Hello everyone, I'm Shannon Deskins from East Kentucky Broadcasting for Pike TV, bringing you another episode of our City Commissioner Report right here in Pikeville, Kentucky. And joining me today we have City Commissioner Jimmy Carter and Minta Cheney, the Main Street Director. How are you guys today?
Good.
Good morning, Shannon.
Thank
Jimmy,
you.
we meet again.
One more time.
That's good. A lot of good things going on in Pikeville.
A lot of great things, and we invited Minta today to talk about the downtown area and Main Street projects. As long as I've been a commissioner, revitalization of downtown was one of my big pet peeves or pet projects, and I really think that we can always get that downtown area where we want it to be. And, we're not there yet, but we're getting very, very close. And Minta and her staff and their board has done a great job on getting us on task.
Well, and like you said, downtown, and who better to talk to than Minta, because this is your baby.
This is my baby. This is the Pikeville Main Street and the Main Street Board that has been in existence for a long time, but I've had the pleasure of doing it for the last 2 years with the board, and I'd like to go ahead and tell you who those board members are that has been working so diligently to bring different projects and events to downtown.
Okay.
Our president is Eric Becker, and Randy Roberts, Jennifer Brown, Julie Goff, Judge Rutherford is on the board, Libby Carter, Sharon Hall, Al Greenfield, Rebecca Hamilton is a proxy for the mayor, Tony Tackett, and Jesse Bowling. So we have, a variety from around town that helps us do what we've been doing, and I think we've become a little bit better known for our Main Street Live, which is something that we're really excited about. This is our 3rd year.
Oh, that's cool. And all those people that you talked about on the board are well known throughout the city. Mm-hmm. And I noticed when you were reading those names off, they're from different aspects of our business community. And I'm sure that was not by accident that you guys chose different people with different backgrounds.
Right. It isn't by accident. It is that you want those that are appointed and those that are elected, because the elected members are the people more so of the community that bring that, ideas to us that what will better help our businesses in the downtown area. Main Street was created when the businesses left downtown and went to the shopping areas and things. And of course, us being a rural community, a rural area, we don't have that problem as soon as some of the other larger places did. But our mom and pops have kind of left the area. Shopping is now in the Cassidy Boulevard area. So we're trying to create a gathering place. And so Main Street's role has changed a little bit on that. But Governor Patton started making sure that Main Street revitalization was taken care of in the early 90s with underground utilities and things like that. And so we're trying to carry through with what we have now. And that is still a wonderful, beautiful town, beautiful park, and invite people to come down and see what's going on.
That is a great thing. I think you were going to say something?
Yeah, just, with that board, and they do a great job. Always keep in mind, too, this is a volunteer board, so they don't get paid for anything. Yeah. All their time is volunteer time, and we really appreciate that as well.
Yes, I mean, it's a nonprofit organization. It's made up of community, municipality, and volunteers. Volunteers is something that people who have a passion for that, and they give their time, and some of these people are just amazing at that.
And one of the things when you think of downtown Pikeville, you can't help but think of April, the 3rd weekend in April, and that's Hillbilly Days.
Exactly.
And that is around the corner, literally a month from now. We're going to be right in the middle of our Hillbilly Days.
Yeah, what we're famous for.
Or infamous for.
Infamous for.
Yeah, according to how you pronounce that word on that one. So that is April the 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Exactly.
And it kicks off on Thursday morning and pretty much wraps up Saturday evening after the parade.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so last year was Main Street and the Main Street Board's first year at having a booth during Hillbilly Days.
And it was a quite interesting one. It got a lot of attention.
Yes,
Tell us about that.
It was. We started out, kind of like on a whim and said, well, we want to let people know, of course, our history in the area. And so the history with, Hillbilly Days was definitely tied to moonshine. And now of all the phenomena that's going on with moonshine in all the areas and in the different states, we wanted to showcase that. So we created the Moonshine Shack. And we built a pretty heavy shack. It could withstand tornado winds, but we put that on Main Street, and we sold T-shirts, and we told people, please sign our booth. You're from out of town. We had people from the Virgin Islands, just all over, sign our wooden shack, and told about some of the history that goes along in the Appalachians to do with moonshine. And we've created a very, very, very unique, I think, experience for people to realize the area and our roots and how that goes back. And I have discovered so much from why some of the city streets were named what they were, because judge back in the 1800s for Prohibition up to the 1920s, and it was named after this judge that got all those little guys that ran the moonshine and put them in jail. So this year we're continuing with that, and it will be the Moonshine Shack again. It'll always be the Moonshine Shack, and we're really proud of that. We are going to come up on the sidewalk and kind of extend our shack onto the property of the East Kentucky Expo Center, and we're working with them to give people a little bit of a opportunity to have a moonshine tasting.
A little taste of our past.
A little taste of our past. But understand that this is from a distributor. This is not anything that was made up the holler in a still with corn and sugar and water and yeast. I know all the ingredients.
She knows a little bit too much about that, Jimmy.
I know all the ingredients. So, with the help of the Expo, because they are, they do have an alcohol license and stuff, we're just going to have a little bit of fun there and let people experience a little bit of taste of it, but nothing like what, people do illegally. And
what was it George Jones sang about? Was it White Lightning? Mm-hmm. And I think that's a lot of our history, but it's changed, and I think it's neat because you're seeing a lot now of different distilleries that are getting into the, I guess you could say, moonshine business. And a lot of it may be, the media controls so much about what we see and do and think about things, and you've got your television shows that have aired, so.
Right.
Well, shame on us if we didn't try to showcase that. That is part of our history.
Right. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's part of us.
It is part of our history.
It definitely is, and that's what Main Street is about preservation, historical ethic, and remembering the past, but, trying to work with what we have here for our future to still carry that on. I think as you get older, and I know as I have, that you all of a sudden have this passion to want to remember and want to know before you. I think it's maybe a way of thinking you're not that old, because I can go back even older. But I have, have that passion for that, to know what happened during those days. But anyway, the moonshine tasting will be at the shack, and we will have all kinds of goodies and, to sell T-shirts and things. But the biggest thing I think that's going to be the most fun to watch.
I'm waiting on you to talk about it.
Is on Friday night, between the Expo Center and the courthouse. This is the area where the buses, for the concerts would pull down into. We're going to kind of mark that off to where people can't get in there. They can still be in the area and see, but we're going to have an obstacle course.
Is this the Midnight Moonshine Run that I've been hearing about? Okay.
This is it. This is how I know how to make the ingredients. I mean, how to make the shine.
Don't tell me you have places where you have to go pick up the sugar and the...
Yeah.
Oh, really?
In your orange wheelbarrow. Like, back in the day, General Lee was the orange car. We got orange wheelbarrows.
Does it have an 01 painted on the side of the wheelbarrow?
Yeah. So, we're going to take entries during Thursday and Friday there during Hillbilly Days. And there will be a limited number. There will be 8 heats at a time. It'll start at 4 o'clock. And they'll have to go through an obstacle course to gather their ingredients for the shine. So they'll have to get their water, and they'll have to, get their corn and their yeast and their sugar, and whatever else happens in between. It's just all up to.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, and we have 2 of our board members that's working really hard on that, Jennifer Brown and Julie Goff, and we have a wonderful volunteer base with that as well. And we're looking for more volunteers if anybody, wants to participate in that. But
just give you a call?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be great.
And Jimmy, you've got to, we've talked about Hillbilly Days in the past, and it's always been in the future. Well, it's upon us now. I mean, you've got to be proud of it also.
Oh, absolutely, Shannon. I mean, we say every year that it gets bigger and better, and what a great job the chamber does in orchestrating it all. Because you can ask them into the city employees. They don't. The offices are closed Thursday and Friday, and they come out and help and throw it all together. But it just doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen by accident.
And
This thing happens over a year process of when it's over, another month or two, you're starting all over again, trying to see to get it back in shape for the following year. So it's a big process to go through, and it's a huge festival, like the second biggest in Kentucky.
That's the way I describe Hillbilly Days. When you're talking to somebody who's not familiar with even Pikeville, you're trying to figure out how to get them to come here and share this with us, I'll tell them, 3 weeks out of the year, Pikeville becomes the third largest city in Kentucky. That's behind Lexington and Louisville, because we have way over 100,000 people that come into our little town of 7,000. So that's what I say. Our town of 7,000 becomes a town of 150,000 for 3 days. And you're right. The last time I did some research, behind the Kentucky Derby Festival, it's the second largest festival in the state of Kentucky. So that is something to be so proud of. And that was before the History Channel's mini-series that happened last year over the Hatfields and McCoy. So that was after Hillbilly Days last year.
Right.
So we're going to have a whole lot of people that come every year to Hillbilly Days who really didn't know what they were coming to. So,
well, and to piggyback off that a little bit, Shannon, I don't know how many people have told me that's given the tours, Jesse Bolin and several people that's given the Hatfield McCoy tours, that came in town for that's never been in Pikeville before, and then they see the brochures for Hillbilly Days and they go, what is this? Mm-hmm. So, they're explaining, and there's a tremendous amount of people say, oh, we're coming back for that. So it ought to be very interesting to see what kind of, it's hard to say from 150 to 160 or 170, who knows? Right. But, there's still a lot of people out there that came into town last year that didn't know anything about Hillbilly Days, and we think that's hard to imagine. But
we think, and that's something we'll talk about in a few minutes with a new thing that's coming on, is we assume that we all know everything that's going on, and we don't. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But back to Hillbilly Days, it's hard to imagine this year how much that we've got to offer. I don't think we've ever been at a point, and you guys will probably agree, in the city of Pikeville, that we're sitting where we are right now with this much potential and this much views from the nation and from the world on our little town.
Well, it's up to us to make sure we continue that focus and emphasis that happens year after year from now. It's been thrown at us, so we've got to take the ball and run with it, to put it bluntly.
So I'm excited.
It offers a unique opportunity and a unique place. It's hard to describe Pikeville. It's hard to describe Pikeville on paper in words. It's one of those things that if you blink your eyes when you drive by, you're thinking, this place is, just absolutely amazing that it can be such a prosperous, progressive area, and we're so blessed. So
we assume that everybody that drives down US 23 knows what they're driving through when they drive through the cut-through, or we
Exactly.
assume they all know when Hillbilly Days is, and so it's a huge task in front of us to promote that and figure out how we're going to tell everybody about what we have. Moving from Hillbilly Days, moving up another month into May, spring cleanup is going to happen downtown.
Mm-hmm. The Main Street Board is made up of 4 committees: Design Committee, Organization Committee, Promotion Committee, and Economic Restructuring Committee. Libby Carter and Randy Roberts are the chairman and co-chair for the Organization Committee. Mm-hmm. And when we met a couple weeks ago, we were talking that, Main Street's role is to, try to help business owners that maybe can't see their way at this time to clean that awning, to, maybe fix that shutter, or, just some signage and things that would really help, kind of liven things up and give it a little bit more new, crisp look. So when we were talking that, the flower baskets that we're so well known for will be out, Hillbilly Days, kind of leaves a little bit of a mess, but UMG does a wonderful, wonderful job in making sure it looks like it's, nothing's ever touched it. But we would like to get down to, the business owners and extend our hand. So we're going to create the week of May the 6th a spring clean up downtown. And we will be accepting applications from different business owners. And
so the businesses themselves will reach out to you guys and say, hey, we want to participate. What can you do to help us get this done?
Exactly. And we will look at those applications and see who we feel, meets the requirements of this facade improvement. And it is, just maybe, like I said, an awning cleaning, a window cleaning, get that gum off your sidewalk, clean that storefront up. But that means a lot to some people, and it means a lot to us to see, that we work with them to give them the opportunity. So we'll be accepting applications for that. That'll come out, and we'll go around to different businesses and say, hey, please apply. You could have a chance, to be one of the final, ever how many we choose, and we're working with Waterworks, a company that, has done a lot with Main Street and different projects to pressure wash their awning, their storefront. And through that week, we'll also be working with the board to plant flowers in places that we haven't done before. And we'd like to reach out during this time and say, if there's anyone out there that has that interest for plants and flowers, maybe the Master Gardeners Club, anybody that would like that week just to get their hands in the dirt and really, do a noticeable job downtown, we invite, them to contact Main Street. Then on Friday, that would be May the 10th, we're calling this Hot Dog It's Friday.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
Hot Dog It's Friday. Main Street
After that week, they'll probably feel that way.
Yeah. We want to do a little cookout there on the plaza for the businesses and the business owners, and just come out, and have the board members say hello and try to realize what Main Street is about. And, if they have any questions, and just extend, a welcome and a thank you.
Real quickly, in case anybody's watching with a business downtown, geographically, where are we talking about when you say downtown? Where do you start, and where are your edges of where you're focusing on this?
The central business district for Main Street is located from the gateway sign, Welcome to Pikeville, to Welcome to Pikeville.
So it's the entire boulevard area.
But for this area that we're focusing right here,
Okay.
It would be within our Renaissance district, and that is from College Street to Scott Avenue.
Okay, so that is the businesses within that area from
Exactly.
College Street to Scott Avenue. If you're interested and you're in that area, then get a hold of you.
Exactly.
Okay, just wanted to make sure we were clear about that in case somebody thought they may be on the edge or we didn't know if they would be eligible or not be eligible.
Well, it seems that most of the awnings and things that I look at are right there in the heart of the, of Main, 2nd and 3rd. But we're not prejudiced, and we don't discriminate, and we want everybody to.
I'm sure if somebody was outside that realm
Yes.
and needed a little bit of help, I'm sure we could.
Yes, we'd love to. We've done several projects, Precious Memories, the custom framing shop on the boulevard, and definitely.
Well, anyone who comes to Pikeville regularly who doesn't live here, every trip they say it looks different. And that's a testament, especially going back to what we're here for, the Commissioner's Report. And Jimmy, that's a big testament to what you guys do in the City Commission.
Well, again, we've got great employees and great people, and like Minta and her group and all that. I mean, they do such an outstanding job, and they just take they just take it and go with it, and that's what we need, and we're so blessed to have such a good staff of people that understand our vision and what we would like to do, and they go out and carry it out every day. It's just phenomenal.
Even knowing you guys, I know you all a little bit better than the normal person out in the city, and I know that it is what it appears to be. You guys do get along well. I mean, you do work together well, and it's always your goal to make sure that on the outward appearance it seems that way, whether it's really that way or not. But you guys really do work together well, and that's evident by the progress that we're seeing.
Well, Minta, she'll call me a lot of times and throw stuff off me, and I'll do the same thing to her. Well, what if we did this? What if we did that? So,
Right.
I mean, there's always stuff going on, just not between us, but other people do the same thing. They were always talking and throwing ideas off each other, and I think their Hillbilly Days this year is going to be just going to be fabulous.
Yeah, we're really excited about that.
Just pray for good weather.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That moonshine run might be a little bit slick if it's rainy.
Could be.
That's downhill a little bit if I'm thinking right where that is.
And uphill.
There you go. Well, the way back, you go downhill, you have to go back uphill. One of the other things, and you touched on it a few minutes ago, Main Street Live is something that's been going on for a couple of years and continues to grow. Talk to us for anybody who's not familiar with what Main Street Live is.
Well, Main Street Live is a creation from the the City Commission and Pikeville Main Street Board, and the inside of Donovan Blackburn, the city manager, and working with the commission and just saying, we go to these other places for our our yearly meetings and our annual meetings, and on the off time, what do we see there? And a lot of those meetings are in Louisville, and this kind of maybe gave us some ideas for this, but definitely any city you visit has that outdoor gathering spot. If it's a successful downtown, there's a place that people want to be.
The street party type feel every
exactly.
now and then.
well, it's called a third place. You know,
Right.
you have your home, you have your work. And aside of getting in your car to go on a vacation, where can you relax? Where can you have a really wonderful time at no charge?
And at home.
Yeah, exactly. And at home. So with that, you know, it's just like Jimmy said, we work so great together. And ideas are definitely encouraged, and it was just one of those things. Let's have a Main Street Live. Let's do this on Main Street. Let's do something a couple times a month, and right now, and always probably will be, the first and third Friday night of every month from June through September, that we have dedicated those nights with different genres of music. We like to showcase local talent. You know, we would love someday to say, you know, that star came to our stage first, you know, to Main Street Live. And with that being said, we did build an outdoor stage there outside the Expo Center to where, you know, they have a wonderful facility. They have a area there with cafe tables to sit at. We've numbered the tables that if people want to call and have food delivered there, they're welcome to do that. You know, that creates more downtown business for, you know, our pizza places, our places that's on 2nd Street, our local restaurants that's down Main Street. And if they don't want to do that, we have worked with the Expo Center that they usually offer some kind of food that fits right in the bill. Like, you know, on a blues night, we roasted a, you know, pig. We've had foot-long hot dogs. We've just about done it all, and people love it. They love it. So, you know, beginning this June, our first one is going to be June the 7th.
Okay.
And it is our 50s night.
I've heard a little bit about that.
Yeah. Last year we had done this on our own, and it was phenomenal.
Poodle skirts and all.
Poodle skirts and all. Honey, I had the cutest little niece of mine that dressed up, and she went around, took pictures with the cars, and we had a lot of reminiscing, and the dancing was wonderful. I mean, the twins, the Hall ladies, they danced and had a great time, and it was probably our most successful. So this year we're partnering with Muscle on Main.
Oh, that goes right in hand. A lot of those cars, that's the style of vehicle.
Exactly. So where our event is the first Friday, his is the second Saturday. So it fell back to back this year. So we're making it a weekend thing, and it'll be a 50s night on Friday night. It'll be a cruise in on Saturday, and the burnouts on Saturday night. So it's going to be an exciting weekend just to kick off our, you know, we get sometimes started later on our spring here in Eastern Kentucky. It'll be wonderful.
Now, if somebody, because you mentioned you try to focus on a lot of local talent. If somebody has a local band or whatever, who do they contact to try to figure out if there's an open date or if it's even something that they could do to play? Do you all allow people to contact you all for booking?
Mm-hmm. That's what we, you know, last year we set up we have a little packet that we go by. We ask for them to contact us, and then I send them that information. They send back the application, maybe a CD or, you know, an MP3, whatever, you know, fits, you know, their availability to us, and we listen to it, and we, you know, try to, like I said, it's local. Keep it local. We want to be able to give those people that opportunity to be on stage. So they contact me, and we go from there. I have already had so many from last year saying, when are you going to do that again? Can I play again? And we had some great bands last year too, and we've already scheduled. If I can read the okay, our nights for this year is a 50s and 60s night, June the 7th.
Okay.
June the 21st is our country night. So we're going to pair that with Memories of Moonshine Madness. We feel like that maybe there might be someone out there that missed Hillbilly Days that wants to know a little bit more about the moonshine.
So bring the shack back out.
Yeah. Well, and the research. You know, we want people to know. We have some games during Main Street Live. We give away T-shirts and a little bit of trivia. It's never boring. It's never boring.
Okay, good.
So, July the 5th is our rock night, and we're calling it All American Main Street.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's the day after July the 4th, but you know, we're still there. We know we're going to have a wonderful time with fireworks in the city on Thursday night, and then Friday night, you know, we'll have a wonderful event there to where people can come and sit back and relax. And
that just extends your whole 4th of July holiday within the city. So,
right. July the 19th, I started this one out saying that I wanted dueling pianos. I thought,
okay,
you know, how cool, some dueling pianos and some karaoke, and maybe that for those that's not so talented that think they are. I don't know.
It's your scouting night.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, when we labeled this, I got a call from I'm so sorry. I just went blank there. Hillbilly Christmas in July. And their ride is that weekend, to where every year, they take, the Christmas in July gifts down to the Shriners Hospital. And they ask, could they partner with us for that Friday night? And it was just, that's what we're about. We want those partnerships. We want those community businesses to become involved with. So it was definitely, yes, what can we bring further to the people, of Eastern Kentucky to have a place to come and do things. So we are going to continue with our dream for the dueling pianos and the karaoke, but we're going to make that weekend a Motorcycles on Main weekend.
Okay, and that's good, because that tells us a few of the things that are coming up, and then I'm sure in future shows we'll talk about further ones. But to move along, because we're in the last few minutes here now, I know that you wanted to talk about Destination Pikeville.
I do. Like Jimmy said, and yourself, that unfortunately we live right here, but sometimes we don't know what's going on. And we, in our meetings, Al Greenfield and Eric Becker will say, how are we going to market this? How are we going to let people know? And I thought about this. I thought, well, there are those people that go to the courthouses and to the attorney's office that maybe don't know, or maybe just hasn't had the opportunity to see. So I want to create this partnership with the businesses, and it's called Destination Pikeville, and offer a window cling. And it pretty much says, I support Destination Pikeville, a Main Street project about promotion, preservation, and partnership of local business. Come on in and get a brochure. See what's happening in Pikeville. It opens up the door for the businesses, and it opens up the door for us to reach out to more people. So I'm really excited about that.
Jimmy, something you mentioned before we went on the air is a lot of times we don't realize when people travel up and down US 23, because people don't understand the astronomical number of vehicles from out of town that pass through here every day. Right. And they're going to stop into some of these stores. And what happens if they stop into a store and say, well, what is Pikeville? What's going on here? We just want to arm them with that information.
That's exactly right, Shannon. Excuse me. And, we do have the different areas that we do have the brochures that people can pick up. But there's so many other places that people will stop that don't have them. So I think this is a perfect, idea for, that they've come up with, to be able to reach out to all these other people that are coming through town that may not have an opportunity, in the restaurants, or, there's nothing there for them to pull out and see. Like I said earlier, I think we have to promote ourselves and let those people know when they do stop in town, and people ask for directions. When I've been walking through town before, people say, how do you get here, how do you get there, and what's going on this weekend? I can't pull anything out and do that, but I think it's a great idea that we'll be able to let those people know that they can come back maybe in 2 or 3 days or next week and take advantage of what we have to offer.
And it seems like a lot of times when we want to focus on teaching people about Pikeville, we focus on our hotels for the people that are staying here for a couple of days, but we forget about the people that are coming in, and they may only be stopping to get gas, or they may only be stopping to eat a bite as they're passing through. This isn't their destination, but that's our time to catch them and say, well, this can be your destination the next time you come through. Stay a couple of days. So I think that's where you guys are going with that, is try to... Okay. Anything else in the last minute or two that you guys want to touch on about what's coming up or anything? How's everything going with the commissioners' meetings and all? Everything going well?
It's going well. We're moving forward on numerous projects, and just waiting for the weather to turn a little bit and get the Jenny Wiley Theater out of the ground, and we're ready to go with that. Donovan's in New York meeting with the architects this week, and we're moving forward with that. So we've got a lot of projects getting ready to come out of the ground, and hopefully we'll be able to report back here in the next few weeks on their progress.
Okay. Well, Jimmy, thank you again for joining us. Aminta, as always, thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.
A lot of things going on in downtown Pikeville.
Right.
Is there a website where people can just see this? Do you all have a website?
Of course, cityofpikeville.com, or visit pikeville.com, or pikevillemainstreet.com.
All right, 3 options.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Shannon.
And thank you today for joining us once again for the City Commissioners Report. I'm Shannon Deskins for Pike TV.